Now let's move on to the Q&A. If you have any questions, any points to make based on what we discussed today, please feel free to share your opinions, your thoughts, and your queries. So, till the time that somebody asks his or her question, you can unmute yourself and speak out your question, or you can type your question on the chat window. Anything is fine. So, till the we receive the first question. So, let me ask you a few questions, which will also help us to ponder deep into some of the
Hare
concepts
Krishna
mentioned in
Prabhu.
this. Yes, Rajshekar.
What is this? Cha- Time is the actually it is not regarding to this, but this is the thought I got by listening to this session. The thing is the time periodic? I mean to say now I am talking now I am questioning you. After
Mm.
some time period, will I be questioning the same question? Or will I be sitting like this and will you be taking session the same time, same instant, and same words, everything same? Is that true?
Not really. But according to the Vedic understanding, time is not linear, but time is cyclic. That is why we have the four yugas, which keep repeating cyclically, right? So, uh, time is cyclic. So, things keep repeating, but may not be the exact thing. When if you're asking after some time, will you be speaking the exact same words to me on the session? Not necessary, not required. But uh, when we study the Vedic scriptures, Bhagavatam, we understand that this entire world, this material world, cosmic manifestation, goes through cycles of creation and destruction. And there are four yugas: Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga, which keeps on rotating periodically, just like day and night keep rotating every 24 hours. So there are preset number of years for which each of these yugas last, and in each of these yugas there are different activities the Lord performs in the material world by descending here as various avatars, but not necessary that each time he performs the same exact activities. There will be differences, there will be slight differences, there will be sometimes huge differences also. But basically, the material world, what is the purpose of this material world? It's an opportunity, it's a chance given to the souls to exercise their free will, try to use their free will as per their wish. And finally, when they realize that I cannot actually whimsically use my free will. I need to follow the authority of God. Then I can use my free will properly. Then I can attain real happiness for which I am actually hankering after. So, this material world is a training grounds for the soul to make it realize, for all of us to realize, to make us realize our relationship with God. So, I hope I have answered your question. So, there is one question posted. Kautuk, could you please read?
Sure, Prabhu. So Raghuram Reddy asked, what exactly is ego mentioned in Bhagavad Gita? We
Yeah.
understand through body, senses, mind, intelligence, soul, using chariot example. But where does ego sit here in the chariot?
Okay. So false ego, it is called ahankara. False ego means it is also an element. It is a subtle element which is making up our subtle body, sukshma sharira. I was talking about two kinds of elements, right? Gross elements and subtle elements. Gross elements make up our gross body, sthula sharira, it is called, which is made up of panchabhutas, which we can touch, feel, see. Whereas inside this, there is a software I said that's called the Sukshma Sharira. Sukshma Sharira comprises of three elements: Manas, our mind. Through mind, we think, we will, we accept, we reject, we have emotions. All these are, we dream. All these are functions or characteristics of the mind. And then intelligence is higher than the mind. So intelligence is all about logical decision making, choices, making choices in our life. So intelligence is superior to the mind because mind can get stuck with emotions, but intelligence always thinks objectively. Should I do this or should I not do this? That decision making ability that we have got is coming from this element called intelligence, buddhi. And above buddhi is the ahankara. Ahankara is also an element. It is very, very subtle. It is the finest of all the gross, of all the material elements. What is this ahankara? Ahankara means identifying ourselves. The soul identifies itself with what it is not. That is the effect of ahankara. I think that I am this body. So, what is the result of this? The moment I think I am this body, then I also start thinking in terms of the designations connected with the body. Okay, since I have been born in South India, okay, I am a South Indian. This is a designation. And since I am born, let's say, in a particular state, I'm born in Andhra Pradesh. So we say, I am a Telugu guy, or I am a man, I am a woman, right? Or then we also play many role plays, right, in our life. I am father of such and such person. I am a son of such and such person, right? So these are all called designations: father, son, uh, our our nationality, our these are all role plays which are required for us to carry out our duties on our daily basis. But identifying and becoming stuck with those role plays and developing a thinking pattern in terms of that role plays, that is not good. Because ultimately we have to realize aham brahmasmi. I am spirit soul. I am part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. This is our actual real ego. There is real ego and there is false ego. Real ego means our real identity. Our real identity is I am soul, I am part and parcel of the Supreme Soul. This is real ego. Ego is there for any person. For any person who exists, there has to be ego. Ego means identity. But right now, we identify ourselves with the temporary designations connected with the body. And Lord Krishna says, Ahankara Vimudhatma. A person who is under the influence of Ahankara, he is bewildered. It what false ego does to us is it narrows our perspective, right? We start thinking in terms of me, my body, my people, my community. It is a very narrow-minded understanding. But actually, we belong to the Supreme Lord, isn't it? So that's the broader understanding. So, uh, so false ego is an element which brings about this kind of a wrong identity in us, thinking that I am this, I belong to this particular community. People of my community should be good. People of all other community, I don't care. Or I'm ready to even go against them. This kind of, this is called false ego. So false ego is very finer and it is placed even above buddhi because false ego has the ability to uh, even you know put a curtain to one's buddhi also. Now we see many times people who are too much attached to their designation. They don't mind doing unintelligent things, right? For example, Hitler. So Hitler was thinking that his race is the Aryan race, the superior race, and all others are inferiors. So what did he do? Because of his so much attachment to this false ego concept that we are superior race, all others are inferior. So he started harassing others. We all know, we have studied in history, burning people alive in gas chambers, putting them into great difficulties in concentration camps. So this is something which an intelligent person or a logical person will, not do under normal circumstances. But because of his exclusive attachment to his identity that I am superior, this is the effect of false ego. He did not act intelligently. In fact, he misused his intelligence and created havoc for people, caused the world war, isn't it? So this is an example. So therefore, false ego is superior to intelligence. It has the ability to control, overpower even intelligence. Hope that answers your question. There's another question.
Yes. Yeah, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So, asked by again Ram. So, is it me thinking that I am body, or is it my mind thinking that I am the body? Who is thinking I am body? If soul is thinking, that is not possible because Sachidanand.
Okay. Very nice question. Very nice observation. Actually, the soul has given its power of attorney to the mind body system. The soul is like, right now, we don't even know that we are soul. That means soul is in a sleeping condition, right? So the soul has to be awakened. So now, because the soul is in a sleeping condition, the mind, intelligence, false ego have practically overtaken the soul. So we are in that condition. This is called a condition of, this is called conditional life itself. It is called. It is a life of ignorance and illusion that we are living in. So Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishad says, Uttishta Jagrata Prapya Varanni Bodhata. Oh human being, you've got this wonderful opportunity. You've got a suitable body by which you can realize that you are not the body, you're not the mind, you're not the designations connected with the body. So Uttishtha, wake up, arise, Jagrata, become conscious, awaken, become conscious of your reality, about your real identity, and engage in spiritual activity, which is a special opportunity only in human life. So Uttishta Jagrata Prapya Varan Nibodhata. Achieve that Amritatva, the eternal life which is possible in this human life by taking up spiritual path. That is what the Upanishad says. That means the soul right now, we are the soul, but you ask, 99.99% of the people in this world, in 99.99% of the instances, they don't understand that they are the soul. So we are always thinking in terms of the body. Say, I am this body. The pains and pleasures of the body are priorities for me. Like this, we think, isn't it? So therefore, the question that you asked is very interesting, very intelligent. Who is thinking that I am the body? Is it the mind thinking or is it the soul thinking? The soul is thinking under the influence of false ego, right? Just like a person who drinks. Suppose someone has drunk alcohol. When he is under the influence of that alcohol, the way he speaks, the way he acts is totally different than when he does not drink, isn't it? Under the influence of alcohol, a person does all illogical things, speaks nonsense. He doesn't even know what he's speaking because his entire nervous system has been has is hijacked by the intoxicating effect of that drink, isn't it? In the same way, we are also under the influence of this false ego, the contaminated consciousness, and we are thinking that we are this body. So the solution for this is to approach the knowledge given in the Bhagavad Gita, approach a bona fide spiritual master, receive this knowledge, understand it, At least theoretically, we should know I'm not the body, I'm soul. And then we should engage in the spiritual activity, the recommended yoga dharma, the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. When you chant Hare Krishna mantra, what is happening is the mind, intelligence, false ego, the different layers that are covering the soul. The Hare Krishna Maha Mantra penetrates all through those layers and ignorance and touches the soul. It's like the soul gets a shock, electric shock, because chanting Hare Krishna mantra, the holy name is not different from Krishna. So the soul is awakened slowly. That is why it is important to hear attentively. So the more you hear, it may appear to be an ordinary sound of this world, but actually the Lord has invested all his potencies, his energies in this Shabda Avatara, the holy name. So if you chant attentively here, the soul will become awakened to the reality. So uh, I hope that it answers your question. The soul is actually hijacked by the mind, intelligence, false ego. Yes, it is the mind which is thinking, but the soul has given its power of autonomy to the mind. Under the influence of this contaminated mind, intelligence, false ego, the soul is identifying itself with the body. That's the one line answer. Okay, there's one more question posted by Ishan. Could you please read, Kautuk?
So Isan asked, Hare Krishna Prabhu, how to make sure that in our daily activities and especially our thoughts, we remain conscious of our true identity?
Very nice question. Hare Krishna, Ishan. How to be always conscious of our actual identity. Now, for that, there is a two-step process. First is we need to be in touch with this transcendental knowledge on a daily basis. That is why it is recommended Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Every day we hear Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. When we are constantly in touch with the spiritual knowledge, uh, every day we are in touch, we are reminding ourselves, we are hearing. And in this chapter, in the seventh chapter, as I mentioned in the very first shloka, Krishna says, Tashrunu, you hear. When you hear this spiritual subject matter from the right source, then there is gradual awakening happening. So the first step is to be in touch with the spiritual knowledge on a daily basis. And the second step is to be in the association of devotees who are consciously practicing this knowledge, right? If you are in the, if you are, it is said, no, Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita that based on what kind of association you keep, that kind of karma, that kind of desires, that kind of thought processes will go on in your mind. In the second chapter, Krishna says, Sangat Sanjayate Kama. So, if we want to make spiritual advancement and always be conscious of our identity as the parts and parcels of God, as loving servants of God, we should associate more and more with the devotees. Sadhu Sangha, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. The scriptures say, even a moment's association with a pure devotee can help us attain the highest perfection. So, being surrounded by devotees who are spiritually conscious, who are trying to render service to the Lord, can help us to be more conscious of our real identity. Suppose if there is a person who is surrounded by thieves, suppose he becomes a friend of thieves. Thieves are always scheming and planning. Okay, next house, which is the house I should go and loot? And what money, how much money you got? Let us now, you know, divide the money which we looted yesterday. So they're always thinking about how to loot money, how to get money, how to plan, scheme. So when you become a friend of such a person, you will also start getting influenced by these thoughts. Oh, I should also next plan. I should also become a big looter. big robber, isn't it? In the same way, when we are in the association of devotees, when we are in the association of serious sadhakas who are practicing this knowledge, who are trying to get out of this illusion, who are so you will also develop desire to become a devotee, right? Devotee will be thinking, okay, now I have to chant. Today I have chanted only, I have not yet chanted. I have to chant two more rounds. Or come, let us read. Come, let us read Bhagavad Gita. And also, you see, in our culture, in the Vaishnava community, we address each other as Prabhu. Prabhu means master. I consider myself as a servant not only of God, but also servant of God's servants. Now, this consciousness will help us to keep ourselves reminded that yes, I have to aspire to become a devotee, spiritually conscious. So, therefore, being in touch with spiritual knowledge every day by hearing, and secondly, being in the association of devotees, this will help us to more and more become conscious of our real identity, that we are not the body, we are soul, we belong to Krishna. So, hope that answers your question. So, any other question, any other comment anyone has? Thank you, Ishan. Yes, is there any other question?
No, Prabhu, not yet.
I think one question was posted
Yeah, one
by
question just
Raghuram.
posted by Raghuram.
Yeah,
So he
yes.
says, Hare Krishna, sir. And who feels the pain, pleasure, happiness, satisfaction?
Hmm.
Prayers,
So, who feel?
prayers,
Hmm.
anything who exactly feels is its body, soul?
Can you please read out the last sentence
The
again?
last sentence he wrote is prayers, Shreyas, anything who exactly feels is it body, soul?
Okay. So, in the Bhagavatam, there are 24 elements listed, 24 elements which make up our mind body system, like the five senses, the five sense objects, the five working senses, the knowledge acquiring senses, and all the Panchabhutas, these three subtle elements, and all of that. And along with that, there is something called Chittam or contaminated consciousness. So, one word answer to your question: who is actually experiencing these pains, pleasures, miseries, happiness? It is our contaminated consciousness. What do you mean by contaminated consciousness? The consciousness which has got polluted by the idea that I am this body, I am this mind. Therefore, the pains and pleasures of these body and mind are my pains and pleasures. This is called contaminated consciousness or chittam, right? So the soul is experiencing all this through the contaminated consciousness. So our consciousness is experiencing it, and consciousness is nothing but the symptom of the soul. Just like heat and light are the symptoms of the fire. How do you know fire exists? We know through the effects, the symptoms of fire, that is heat and light. In the same way, what is the symptom of the soul? The soul's presence can be felt because the consciousness of the soul spreads throughout the body. That's why any part of the body you pinch, you feel pain because the soul is spread all over the body in the form of consciousness. So, that consciousness of the soul, which is originally pure, which is originally spiritual, uncontaminated, now has become contaminated because of our identification with this material, temporary material body. So that contaminated consciousness is experiencing all this pain, pleasures, and all of these. The real soul is as though it is sleeping. The soul has to be awakened, as we discussed. Hope that answers your question. I know it is a little technical, but uh, we need to become familiar with this understanding. You know, for many, many why it is so difficult for many people to even understand about the soul, why it is difficult for us to even comprehend the concept of soul. It's because not just in this one lifetime, for many, many lifetimes, we have continuously being been identifying ourselves with our temporary body. That's called false egos effect. So much so that even in the middle dead of night, if somebody wakes you up and asks, "Who are you?" We say, "I am such and such. My name is such and such. I am son of such and such. I belong to this nationality," etc., etc. But these are all the designations. In the previous life, you had a different set of designations which you are identifying with. Now we are having a different set of designations. Again, we are identifying ourselves with these designations. So next time we will have another set. So real knowledge means to see that I am beyond these designations. Designations are temporary, they keep changing, but I am that eternal, unchanging soul, and I am qualitatively same as the Supreme Lord. This, if one is able to understand, then one can begin to, relish spiritual knowledge and practice Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness, in simple terms, means I am not the body, I'm soul. I am part and parcel of Krishna. Therefore, I am meant to serve Krishna. So I should engage in Krishna's service. That's all. That is Krishna consciousness. Right? Yes. Yeah, it might not be clear to you at this point of time. I would suggest you to please read the Bhagavad Gita as it is by Swami Prabhupada, and that can really help you a lot because I see Raghuram, you are quite inquisitive. You have been asking wonderful questions. So please read Bhagavad Gita as it is. And whenever possible, we can also connect personally. We can meet and discuss more. Okay, so shall we close the session? Is there anyone, any comment, any more questions? Okay, thank you very much for your valuable time. So we will meet again tomorrow to discuss the eighth chapter. Thank you. Over to Kautuk. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. So thank you so much for such a wonderful session. I hope you guys remember the 5 points discussed by Prabhu. So, and the Q&A part, so there are 3, 4 questions, like, or even more, like it's just 5, 6 for answer today. So thank you all for staying till the very end. We hope to see you again tomorrow at 8:45 p.m. So there we will discuss the chapter 8. So we'll meet then. Hare Krishna.